Hi guys, what's up? Hope you're doing well and you're now ready for your CAT. Okay, by the way, in this video, I'm not going to talk about a bullshit called get 90 percentile in 7 days, get 95 percentile in 7 days, or get 99 or 100 percentile in 7 days. That's crap, right? I'm not going to tell you all these things because there is enough of people telling you all this kind of rubbish thing. Anyway, my purpose for this video is in 7 days how can you boost your score. Okay, so in this video I'm going to talk about quant strategy, LRDI strategy, and your verbal ability strategy. Now whatever percentile you are as of now, like 70 percentile, 80, 90, 95 or 99.99, my purpose for this video is to boost your score whatever you are as of now by the strategies that I'm going to tell you. Like by using them, I can guarantee you will see some score going up in actual CAT. So let's get started. Now first and foremost thing, I'm going to talk about quantitative ability first. Now, what is happening with quants? So you've been working hard from last 6 months, a year and whatever, right? Now we've been giving a lot of CAT papers, we've been solving a lot of mock papers, but somewhere down the line basing has gone on a toss. So the first priority in next 6-7 days, what you guys are going to do is, you guys are going to kind of brush up on your basic concepts, basic formulas, basic application. Now there are 3 areas as far as your quants is concerned. One is the arithmetic, then what you have is algebra, and then you have in the end is geometry. So you might want to check out the theorems, you might want to go back and check out certain questions which were really painful to you while you were preparing. So try and understand how can you knock these questions off, try to understand how can you solve these kind of particular questions, try to understand basic questions, basic application. So this is what you're going to do. First of all, from today or tomorrow onwards is revise. Now you have been practicing a lot from last whatever months, maybe 3 months, 6 months and whatever. Now it's time for you to kind of slow down, right? People do the other way around. Now as and when they get closer to the exam, they try to practice as much as they can. The problem is there is a funda called as in commerce, something called as diminishing marginal utility. It means the more you do it, the lesser you will get it. Now for the fact you are away from you're like 7 to 8 days away from your D-Day, what I need to understand is you should be spending more time on understanding this stuff rather than practicing it and going crazy about it. Okay. Now, so first thing is that revise your basics. Okay. Then you might want to do this segment wise. So you feel that, you know what, you are now not quite good with geometry. Give a little bit more time to geometry. Try to revise your geometry. Okay. Same goes for arithmetic. Same goes for algebra. Now, once you understand the basics, once you understand where have you been going wrong, right? What are the areas that you're not able to pull up, right? Or what are silly mistakes that you've been doing? After that, it's a good idea to practice certain things. Now, you can also practice some basic questions. So these kind of questions can help you for CAT also and the upcoming exams like SNAP and MAT, CMAT or ZAT and IFT for that matter. So it's always a good idea to kind of go back to your basics and do a quick brush up. Now, as I said, when you practice, guys, when you practice all these things, right, there is a big no for your mock papers because you have given enough mocks, right? You've been writing enough mocks as far as your class is concerned. Now, why not mocks? Because they do not have equity, or rather you can call it as equality. So because these all mocks, they're so fucking different, there is just so much volatility that people are going crazy that what you should be doing or what you should be or how you should be analyzing your score. So big no as far as your mocks are concerned. So if you want to practice your questions, the only Bible that's going to help you out is previous year papers of CAT exam. Then it can be 1990 to 2008 or it can be 2001 to 2008. Whatever you have with you guys, just pick them up, try to practice. Now, understand, you got to train your brain out here. Now, why it's important? Because from last 3 months, you've been solving a level of difficulty which is so volatile. So you're solving, class X mocks, class Y mocks, class Z mocks, and none of them are close to actual CAT paper. That's the biggest problem. Okay. Now, I don't want to put yourself in that shithole, right? So what you're going to do is, at least for next 6 to 7 days, you're going to train your brain to solve questions which are based on CAT. Now, if you just take 2001 to 2008 CAT papers, okay, only actual CAT papers, and you check out quants, logical reasoning, DI, and you check out verbal ability, they are close to 2017 paper. So guys, this is the time that you actually get your brain on the level of CAT, so that on a D-Day, you are not shocked. You're getting my point, right? So this is something I want you guys to do. I had a same lecture yesterday in Pune. These are the same things that I've told them. So if you're my non-classroom student, you got to pay attention to all these things. Now, as far as quants is concerned, guys, you're going to get 34 questions. Trust me, out of 34 questions, 15 questions are going to be way easy, way easy. You will be surprised to see this. That, is this a really, a CAT level? But yeah, 15 questions are going to be actually easy enough. Now, out of these 15 questions, you will get a couple of questions theta. See, for the fact the questions are theta, they are going to be quite easy. Then comes your other 10 questions. Other 10 questions are going to be medium level, right? So these are going to be purely driven by basics. These guys are going to be purely formula based. Now, these guys can here be a little bit of application oriented, which is the basic application, right? And you will have around about 9 questions which are going to be really tough, and you don't want to waste your time thinking about them, checking them out. Just ignore them. Now that's the crux. If you put your head into previous papers of CAT, you will be able to understand, these 9 questions are out of the way of CAT. They are not CAT pattern. They are on my level of mocks. Like, they come from my mock kind of thing. I'm not going to touch them because these guys are bad boys. So you're gonna ignore them. And that's the reason I said that you have to prepare on your CAT question paper rigorously from now onwards. So guys, what you need to understand is, out of these 34 questions, right, you are not supposed to solve 34 questions. Even though you don't know log, even if you don't know time, speed, distance, blah, blah, blah. See log, yeah, let's talk about log. Non-engineer, log 2 questions. Time, speed, distance, say around 2 questions. Surge and indices, 1 question. Pipes and cisterns, say around about 1 question. 2 to 4, 5, 6. 6 questions. Yeah, you have 34 questions. Minus 6. You are still left with 28 questions. You also know that you are not going to mark 28 questions in your paper. So, what you have to do is, your paper is going to be around about 25, 26 questions. So, you have a good leeway, a good liberty to leave kind of 9 to 10 questions untouched, unsolved, because they are not your area. You cannot do them. Now, if you need to understand, like if you understand this, right, there are roundabout, if you out of 34 guys, let's say if you do 30% paper correct, to be precise 28%, which is 10 questions on 34 with 100% accuracy, you are touching 80 percentile as far as your CAT is concerned. Okay, and roundabout, if you go ahead with roundabout like 35 to 80, 38% of your paper, where it's roundabout 15 questions, you are actually touching 90 percentile. Okay, so this is what you need to understand. Now, if you look at your paper from a percentage perspective, it's a very low number, right? So that's what it is, right? From now onwards, you need to understand, okay, what kind of questions I am comfortable with, what kind of questions, what kind of, conceptual questions I'm not actually good with. For example, both and stream, I always suck at it. I'm not going to pick them up, okay? Questions based on profit and loss, questions based on percentages, SICI. Oh, okay, I'm pretty good at it, so I'm gonna pick them up. So this is, guys, the time that you understand yourself a lot. Now, this time people do ulta. They are always reverse. They try to get involved into their exam a lot, but they forget to understand themselves. They forget to understand how much they are prepared for the exam. So it's always good to know your preparation very well. So that's all about quants. Now, if you have not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe to my channel, because I'll be putting a lot of videos in next 2 to 3 days, which are going to help you a lot and going to help you to strategize your brain and train yourself for your upcoming CAT. Now let's go ahead and talk about LRDI. The biggest pain in ass, right? Everybody is moaning about LRDI and people have no idea kahan se LRDI kare. There are a lot of issues around it. Now, people ask me, sir, I always get confused that how to select a set, okay? How to select a set of my LRDI. What happens is, like, I start up with a set and then I realize that, I'm not going to do this. Like, I wasted my 10 minutes and I'm nowhere. Okay. What is happening with you guys right now? The only thing that you are doing is solve, solve, and solve. People out there are going crazy. They are only solving, solving, and solving. Tell me one more thing. When was the last time throughout this preparation, when was the last time you actually sat with LRDI and try to only understand this section? I think only 5% of people, because now you are not giving time to analyze or to understand this section. But what you're trying to do is, you guys are jumping on the questions and you just want to solve them. You get so happy when you solve a set in 10 minutes. I can bet you, if I give you the same set the next day, you'll not be able to solve it in 10 minutes, right? Why? Because you are spending less time in analyzing them, in understanding them. So what I've told my students basically is, try to sit down with previous year paper, okay, this previous year paper of your CAT. Now, check out all logical reasoning and data interpretation question. If you have calculation based questions, just ignore them, because CAT will not be asking them on a quite high level. The only thing that you need to do is analyze. The only thing that you need to do is understand your set, right? You can take 2017 paper. Rather than solving it and jumping on it, just understand how this question was done, what this question is all about, how this question has been framed, what's the wording of this question, how typically this has been framed, like what kind of questions are there. You need to understand these kind of questions. You need to go through at least couple of 20 to 25 sets in next 2-3 days. So say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Guys, give yourself at least some time out of this preparation to analyze LRDI. You guys have only and only been solving. Only by solving you will not be able to understand this section. You need to spend some time on this section कि okay, questions कैसे बनते हैं, इस question में क्या चीज tough थी, अच्छा मेरे को क्या नहीं समझता है, अगर ये चीज मेरे को question में दिखी तो यार I am not going to pick this kind of questions. अगर ऐसा मुझे कुछ दिखा question में तो पक्का मैं वो question उठाऊंगा. So you need to understand, right, how LRDI has been framed. Now there is only one thing: practice, practice and practice. But once you are done with this, I would advise you Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you might want to solve 5 to 10 sets of your logical reasoning and data interpretation, because you want to train your brain so that on the D-Day you are not lost. So you are in that same habit. Okay, guys, trust me, this is fantastic thing. It might sound a little foolish to you, but guys, I have done the same thing. Right, solving logical reasoning and DI is not the answer. And by this time you must have understood. You have solved 50, 60, 70 odd set. But आज भी एक ही क्वेश्चन आपको आता है, यार सिलेक्ट कैसे करूं, कौन सा मैं सेट पहले उठाऊं, कौन सा सेट में मेरा एक्यूरेसी बढ़ेगा. So you gotta give some time to itself, right? To LRDI. Last but not the least, VARC. Okay, guys, I will be actually uploading round about like 3 to 4 videos in next 2 to 3 days, and they're going to be kick-ass videos. They're going to clear all your doubts as far as verbal ability is concerned and reading comprehension is concerned. Guys, trust me, if you're not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe to it and enjoy all those videos. Now coming back to your VRC, right, what you need to do is basically, if I look at VRC, the major problem is with your para-jumble. But guys, trust me, I would request you to kind of do para-jumble, do odd one out and do para-summary. Guys, these are questions, they are titta questions and they are actually really easy. Guys, why am I kind of stressing on the point that you have to focus more on titta question? Yeah, out of 100, you are supposed to get around about 28 to 30 questions which are going to be titta across all your segments. So around about 28 to 30% questions are going to be titta based. Okay. Now, the question is why that I should be focusing more on titta based question. Guys, the first thing that you need to understand, solving titta based question correctly will be boosting your score like anything. Now, what's the logic, sir, behind when you say that solving titta based question will boost my score? Remember what I told you, right, about the scaled score and bringing the equality among the papers? You remember that? Now, there are two people, okay? Say there is Mr. X and there is Mr. Y. Now, what happens is Mr. X solves a certain number of questions. Say 10 number of questions he has solved, and all those questions had MCQs. Means he was given the options to mark those questions. And there is Mr. Y. He solved 10 questions wherein there were no options and there were like titta, like they all were titta questions. So yaar, thoda to benefit is bande ko milna chahiye, because he has marked all those questions without the option. And that is the reason, guys, as I always say, marking titta questions can boost your accuracy. So guys, if you really want to study lesser, attempt lesser and get more percentile, titta is your guy. Titta is something that you should be catching up with in next 3 to 4 days. Guys, trust me, if you're facing problem with para-jumble and odd one out, please go to my channel, check out my couple of videos on odd one out and para-jumble, guys. You'll be able to knock them off. Now, that's number one. Number two, if you're struggling as far as your attempts are concerned in, say, reading comprehension, take my words, out of 24 questions in your verbal, in your reading comprehension, you'll get round about 12 se 13 questions coming directly from the paragraph. These are all fact-based questions. Okay, you are not touching inference-based question at all. आपको cat की कसम है, अगर आपका वर्बल अच्छा नहीं है, आप inference based questions नहीं कर रहे हो. अभी आपको, like, what you need to do for next 3 to 4 days, guys, try to get little bit close to this main idea, central idea, theme वाले questions, right? What author is talking about and all that. ये inference based में भी जाता है, but mostly cat में what author is talking about, ये actually आपके fact based question में ही आता है. Mock में ये inference होगा, but आपके mock actual cat में ये fact based ही होगा. So try to focus a little bit on main idea, central idea, theme, and try to work around how to solve questions wherein they have mentioned except का उल्टा करो, right, which is not mentioned. ऐसे करके आप वो question पढ़ सकते हो, and that's how you can kind of get that question correct. So as far as verbal ability is concerned, that's the thing that guys you need to understand. Again, 13 questions, 13 to 14 questions you need to mark to get round about 80 percentile. You need to solve round about 18 questions to get 90 percentile. So these numbers are in front of you. Again, I'll be making one video on these numbers, guys. So the only request to you guys is that now slow down a little bit, pay more attention towards your preparation, what you know well and what you do not know. This is the most important thing that you should be understanding for next 7 days. Now, again, like to reiterate, you need to practice your basics, your concepts, right? You need to kind of go back and check the previous papers. You also kind of need to check the 2017 paper. You need to focus on how many number of questions you're going to be solving. And the most of all, if you're solving mock or question, guys, this is going to be your make or break. That's called as accuracy. Only accuracy is the game changer and you got to keep an eye on it. Without accuracy, you will not be able to sustain in CAT. Trust me, कितना भी attempt कर लो, अगर आपकी accuracy नहीं है अच्छी, you will not be able to get score in your CAT. But you attempt less, your accuracy is pretty good. You're gonna rock the paper, guys. Okay. So last but not the least, if you're not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe for CAT ka videos. Thank you so much, guys, and I wish you all the very best.